Alright, and hello, this is M-Dog, and we are going to do an arena run, at least do the draft and maybe a couple matches for you today. I know it's been a little while since we've had Hearthstone content, and to be honest, I'm just kind of waiting for them to release a patch and see how things start to develop. We were playing so much there for a while, we've taken a little bit of a break, but I like to come back to it every once in a while and see just how rusty I am. I think we're going to play a Mage today and go through a Mage draft, and we'll probably just talk about the picks, the different cards that are available, and then I'll probably just include one or two matches onto it afterwards. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so this first pick is going to be Blizzard. Now some people really like playing spells in Arena. I think they tend to be a little situational, but they certainly can be good. Vaporize is a very good spell. Secret, it destroys whatever attacks your minion. If you're playing against a smart player, however, and they know how to test for spells, then you're probably not going to get the value you want to out of it. Blizzard is good. It does 2 damage and it freezes the board, so it offers you not only AoE damage, taking out whatever minions have 2 or less health, it also freezes the board, giving you time to maneuver and control the battlefield. So we're going to go with Blizzard here on our first pick. Alright, so we'll probably get a second Blizzard here. It's interesting because this might have been a strong Secrets deck, as we're seeing now we have a second Vaporize as well as a Kirin Tor Mage. But again, I think the Blizzard's really strong, and so now having 2 of them, we can almost guarantee we're going to have at least one of them come up in most matches. Argent Commander is very strong, and I think that's what we'll go with here. Argent Commander is a 6 cost minion that has not only charge, but it also has Divine Shield. So it's basically like 4 damage removal, and then a 4/3 stays on the board afterwards is one way to look at it. So here we have some interesting choices. The Leper Gnome I like a lot. It's a 1-drop that does at least 2 damage to the hero unless it gets silenced. But if they're silencing your 1-drop, then, well, that's probably favorable for you. Arcane Explosion is pretty good. Does 1 damage to all minions. We already have a couple Blizzards, so might not prioritize that quite as high. Stormwind Knight is okay, but it only does 2 damage. It does have charge, but it only does 2 damage. I think we're going to go with Leper Gnome here. Okay, here is Chillwind Yeti. It's our first 4-drop, and it's very strong. It's strong against everyone. Obviously, people talk about how strong it is against priests, and that is true because it has 4 attack. It falls in between Shadow Word Pain and Shadow Word Death, so it can't be destroyed by either of those hard removals. We have another Arcane Explosion, which again is fine. Mana Worm is okay, dependent on, you know, a turn 1 Mana Worm followed by a turn 2 or 3 spell, if this is still around, can get really strong for early game. But the Yeti is just consistently strong, so that's what we're going to draft here. And here we have 2 very good Mage spells. We're going to go with Flame Strike. AoE removal is really strong in Hearthstone. But Fireball is obviously really good as well, doing 6 damage. You can take out that big minion, or you can use that to do direct damage to the enemy hero. But again, we've got 2 Blizzards. Flame Strike complements that. We've got a lot of AoE removal here early in this draft. While Pyromancer is okay, especially since we're going to be casting spells, we could try to use that to our advantage. But Argent Commander is so good that I'm completely comfortable getting 2 of these, even this early. Having 2 6-drop minions, knowing that they're Argent Commanders, I'm fine with that. And here we will get a Mana Worm. Archmage is alright. We don't want another 6-drop. The spell damage would be nice, and it does have a big body on it, but we honestly just don't want another 6-drop this soon. We also have our 2 Blizzards, which cost 5 mana, and as a Mage, we're probably not going to have quite as many minions as you would in many of the other classes. Certainly our hero ability doesn't create minions like things like the Paladin and the Shaman do. So the Warlord maybe not quite as much value, and having another 1-drop is good, especially one that potentially could grow based on what spells we get moving forward. Okay, this is South Sea Deckhand is pretty low on the value list. especially without having weapons, but even with weapons, I don't often draft it. So we've got a Fen Creeper that has Taunt and an Ironbeak Owl, which will have Silence. The Silence would be nice. It'd be our first 2-drop, but you really don't want to play an Owl on turn 2 unless, you know, there actually is something to silence. Fen Creeper's okay. It's got the big body on it. It's one of the few taunt cards that I do kind of like, and I think we will go with that here. Alright, a third Blizzard is probably a little overkill, and Twilight Drake is really strong, so we're going to go Twilight Drake here and get our second pretty solid 4-drop. And now we'll get our third 4-drop with the Ancient Brewmaster. So right now we could potentially brew an Argent Commander to give its Divine Shield back. We could brew a Fen Creeper to heal it, would be the only reason. You really probably wouldn't brew a Twilight Drake. And the rest, so far we don't have anything that works perfectly with this, but for 4 mana it's a 5 attack with 4 defense, so that's pretty solid. It does get killed by Shadow Word Death in terms of a priest, but priest is just one out of many classes, and the Brewmaster, Ancient Brewmaster is really solid, and the Grimskull Oracle is terrible, and the Dalaran Mage, I just don't really like it. It only has 1 attack. You get the spell damage, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, so now we could do a little bit of healing here with Voodoo Doctor, or we could go Arcane Explosion. I think Arcane Explosion is going to be the way we go. We've talked about secrets, and I'm still, unless there's just a pick where the secret stands out as the only really good pick, we're going to probably stay away from that. Arcane Explosion does 1 damage to all enemy minions, and if we can get something with spell damage, it would do 2 damage to all enemy minions, so we'll take that. Okay, all these are pretty good picks. I like Venture Co. Mercenary, especially as a mage where you're not playing tons of minions, because it is so solid. Basically, if you play the Venture Co. Mercenary, you're going to find out real quick if your opponent has removal or not, because this is going to have to be a priority. It's got a big body on it, it does 7 attack, and for only 5 mana cost, that's really solid. Dragon League is okay, but because it only has 2 attack on both its main and its secondary body, I just don't like it that much. It certainly doesn't help you come back if you've gotten a little behind on the battlefield. Earthen Ring Farseer is good, and we don't have any 3-drops, but I think Venture Co. is a little too strong. I think we have to pick that. Defender of Argus, one of the best cards in the game. It's maybe not quite as valuable as a mage, because if we don't have minions up, then there isn't as much chance that you're going to be able to give 2 things +1/+1 in taunt. However, so far we've gotten some pretty decent minions, just not many low-cost ones, but we will go Defender of Argus here over the Arcanist and another Twilight Drake. Polymorph for hard removal is a must. Arcane Intellect would be nice for card draw, but gotta go Polymorph here. And we'll go Novice Engineer for card draw. That's a pretty easy choice. Windfury Harpy is okay. Mana Worm, we've already got 1. It is okay, but we'll go Novice Engineer. We need card draw for sure. And this is between Faceless Manipulator and Big Game Hunter. Big Game Hunter can be very good if your opponent has big minions. With the current meta being so fast, even in Arena, I do worry that this would get wasted and it ends up just being a 3-drop that's a 4/2, which is honestly decent attack. It's above average attack, but only 2 health. Kind of stinks. So we're going to go Faceless Manipulator. One thing we could do is, we could Faceless Manipulate something we already have, or you can use it to copy one of your opponent's minions that is placed. So this will be our first 3-drop, and I think we will go ahead and choose the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, as strong as both of these cards are, really. Spiteful Smith, obviously, if you have a weapon, is even better, but even by itself, it's, got such a big body. Its 4 attack is okay, but it's a decent 5-drop even without weapons, and Stranglethorn Tiger is great. However, Flesh-Eating Ghoul will be our first 3-drop, and we might be able to build it up. Now we're going to go Bloodsail Raider. I do that because I think it's important to have, a few good 2-drops, and this is an average one. It's a little below average maybe because it's 2 attack instead of 3, but it does have 3 health instead of 2 health. So we'll take Bloodsail Raider here, and that is only our second 2 mana cost minion, so it's important we get that. We'll take a second Twilight Drake or a Vaporize, and sort of thinking about this as we talk out loud here. Arcane Golem, it's alright. I just would not want to play that early game, because you are giving your opponent an extra mana. So if you do that early, they're going to have such an advantage on what they can play moving forward in the match. I'm just a little shaky on that. A second Twilight Drake again would be pretty decent though. Vaporize would be okay as well. It'd be a secret. The only thing we have that really benefits from that in terms of playing it would be the Mana Worm. But I think we'll go on the safe side here and get Twilight Drake. Mirror Entity is a nice secret if you can play it at the right time when your opponent has no choice but to play a decent minion, because you're going to get a copy of it. But I think Direwolf Alpha here might be the play. We need lower costing minions to kind of help this mana curve, and this one does benefit other minions, can boost their attack, whatever's next to it. So we'll go Direwolf Alpha. Arcane Missile or Arcane Intellect. Silverhand Knight is great, but we have 3 5-drop minions and 2 5-drop spells. I tend to think that we need to do something like Arcane Intellect or Arcane Missiles. The card draw, we get 2 cards. You basically get an extra card for 3 mana. But this helps cycle through your deck to get to other good cards. I think we will go with Arcane Missiles though. Frostbolt is very good. Removal and it also freezes. We'll take that. A second polymorph over these, which are pretty subpar in terms of the minions that are available there. Shattered Sun Cleric or Ooze. And this is a hard choice. We're going to end up going Shattered Sun Cleric because it is a 3-drop and we need them. But listen, Ooze is one of the best, if not the best, 2-drop minions. It's 3/2 like you want it, and when you're playing against Warrior, Paladin, or even Warrior, Paladin, Rogue, or even Shaman, there are so many times where bringing Ooze out is so important. But I think Shattered Sun Cleric is one of the best minions in the game, to be honest. It's only 3, and it has a 3/3, which that's what you're looking for. The 3 mana cost, you basically want it to be a 3/3. I mean, that's kind of what you're expecting. And it also gives someone else 1/1, so it's just so strong. Ogre is very strong too, but if anything, we've got a need for 3-drops right now. Really 2 and 3 drops. Okay, so we could go Wild Pyromancer to get that other 2-drop. Of course, we could get another Argent Commander as well. I don't think we'll get Counterspell here. So right now we've got 2 Argent Commanders, Venture Code, Fin Creeper, Faceless Manipulator, and a Flame Strike down there at the bottom. For 2-drops, they're all basically support 2-drops. I think we've got to get Wild Pyromancer here. We're almost done with this draft, and if there's one thing we need is a little more efficient minions, especially early game. So we'll go Wild Pyromancer. And this is probably, I mean, it's definitely between Silvermoon Guardian and Ice Lance. I guess if there was, the only thing this sort of combos with right now that we have would be our Frostbolt. So you play Frostbolt and then Ice Lance, and you could take out something big because it's going to do 4 damage on top of the 3 you've already done. So that could be 7 damage to one target, but it has to be combo. This only does damage if the target's already frozen. So I think we're actually going to get Silvermoon Guardian here. Water Elemental is an easy choice here. Even though we've got a lot of 4-drops, the Water Elemental is one of the more solid Mage class minions, or cards in general, and these 2 are very weak, so we'll go Water Elemental. Okay, and this is probably going to be Sorcerer's Apprentice, another solid 2-drop, which we need. I hate to pass on spell damage again, but that's just kind of the way this draft has worked out, so we'll go Sorcerer's Apprentice. And for the last pick, we could get Mind Control Tech. Especially early game, I do think it's possible that our opponents could build up a little bit of a battlefield lead. In other words, have more minions on the board than we do. And if someone got really aggressive on us, Mind Control Tech would possibly swing it back. And we need the 3-drop, so that's why it's tempting to go that. It's a 3/3, but I think Defender of Argus is so strong that even though our mana curve is pretty messed up right now, and this is our last pick, I think it's worth getting a second Defender of Argus. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so weird mana curve. We finally did get a couple more 2-drops to help a little bit, but 3s just were not there, which is unfortunate. So let's see how we can do with this draft. Looking at it, I think we can get some wins. I don't think we'll get past, probably this is like a 4 or 5 win deck. Ultimately, I mean, the spells are pretty strong. We've got some decent removal, but ultimately the problem is going to be we just sort of didn't get the best trading minions. You know, if we can get to turn 4 and still be in good shape, then I'd say it's a coin flip. But making it to turn 4 without putting ourselves in pretty rough shape could be a problem. We'll see how it plays out, though. And again, I'll probably try to at least put a couple matches after this draft just so that you can see a couple of examples of how this deck performed. Okay, so we are trying to give an example here of how this Mage deck that we drafted performs. And let's see how this goes, see what our starting hand looks like, see if we can get a 2-drop in our hand.
Jaina versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
Okay, so we'll keep the Frostbolt and the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and go ahead and send the Argent Commander back. And the Paladin is taking quite a while to choose his opening hand. So he took 3 cards. That 4th card is the one he kept, and then this is the one he just top decked.
I am sorry.
Hello.
What you want?
So early game here has been pretty even because he's got this True Silver Champion here to help him maintain some advantage.
Reporting for duty.
Did he really just attack us to the face? That seemed a little weird unless he's just planning on consecrating this turn. Sort of a strange play, but he may have something in mind here. He equality'd on our Drake, but then he didn't hit it with the True Silver Champion. So he left it out there and took the 4 damage anyway. And now I would think he has to consecrate or do something to get rid of it. I don't know. So strange. We're going to go ahead and polymorph this. The only problem with this play is we are now really vulnerable to consecrate. But we got more damage in with our Drake. We know we have Flame Strike next turn. And we also have a taunt card, which can be really strong as well, according to what he plays here. But we've been able to keep our Drake alive for a long time.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Flame Strike's not bad here, to be honest. It's not bad at all. We know we have 2 damage here unless he silences it. If we get any more damage here, I mean, we're going to almost be at the point where we can just start pinging him every turn and kind of be okay. So there's a Humility. He top decked a Humility, put that on this to change its attack. We'll probably go ahead and Novice Engineer here next turn just to get another card draw, and then possibly play Fin Creeper after that. Well, let's see what we get here.
I hope you like my invention.
Now we could do 5 damage, but this is actually a tough decision. I think he would have consecrated already if he had it. So what we're saying here is that if he consecrates, it's because he top decked it. And that's really the worst case scenario here, is him consecrating.
My shield for Argus.
Now he's got taunt. So what's he gonna attack? Yeah, you gotta attack the dire wolf there. And that should be game over. Unless he has a silence, it's game over. Or unless he heals, I should say. We have 11 damage on the board right now, so it should still be over. He's... Alright. So there's an example of the Mage deck that we drafted, and yeah, the little bit of removal spells that we were able to use there, that really got us, kept the momentum going and put us in a position of strength so that we could ultimately win that. So again, we're just trying to play a couple matches here just to look at how this Mage deck we drafted performs. Let's see if we can get against a different opponent this time and see what that's like. So this is going to be against a Priest. Typically you would say, wow. Typically you would say that Priest beat Mage. I think typically that's the common sort of idea, is that the Priest class really matches up well against Mage. In Arena, you never know, because obviously with not being constructed, you don't get to always pick the cards that you would normally want to pick. So it can be a little different, but let's see how this goes.
Hello.
It's time for a little blood. Bring me steel.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So the question here, is it worth holding on to Leper Gnome so that we have an extra health on the Twilight Drake, or is it better to go ahead and get the 2/1 out there? I think we'll hold on to it, because what would happen is he might trade with the Master Swordsmith and take out our Leper Gnome, and then we'd really have to hero power this to kill it. He's going to Shadow Word Pain here. And then, oh, that's a nice little play there. May have a silence.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
We've got some Drake on the board. I will say that. The one thing that would be a great play if he had it for the Priest would be to silence all minions. It would be really good for him if he had that. It'd turn both of our Drakes into 4/1s, and it would get rid of the Leper Gnome. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that that hurt me instead of him. That's disgusting. So the question is, will we stabilize here or not? So we are one turn away from mind control, which is no fun, but let's see what he does here. We have stabilized, at least for now. And he's trying to figure out what to do. Shadow Word Death kills the Drake. Shadow Word Pain kills our defender. But with 4 attack, at least for right now, the ghoul is out of range of any of the shadow words. So there's the Pain. And now Shadow Word Death takes out the ghoul, as he has moved it to 5 attack. It looks like that might be what he does here. Okay, so he's just going to trade with it. That would appear. And he has 4 mana left to spend.
You gotta be kidding me!
So if he has mind control, he'll definitely take our minion here. This card he's been holding on to for a while. There it is. Fun little mind control. Yeah, I think we wait. Wait till next turn.
You call that a win?
Alright, so this takes that out. Actually, Flame Strike takes them both out. And if anything, you need to slow play a priest. Most times, you need to, you don't want to get over aggressive. Mind Blast, yuck. Priests are tough because, you know, I'm sitting here saying you want to slow play them. But then again, priests get really strong late game. So I think what we'll do here is we'll just ping this and then bring our Argent Commander in and kill it. And we're trying to wait and play Direwolf Alpha on a turn where we need it to increase our attack. So it just hasn't been the case yet.
Is someone injured?
That's really too bad that he got that little combo together there.
You call that a win?
What to do? What to do?
Well, we definitely want to take this out. Problem with leaving this alive is that he can continue to heal it up to 7 health. I don't know that that really matters right now. We'll go ahead and take that out.
Are you ready for this?
Alright, so now we need 7 attack. On both, really.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Oh, I just dropped that in the wrong spot. Cannot believe that. I thought I let it go right here, but obviously I didn't.
Get behind me.
Push forward.
Oh, if you're sure.
Push forward.
Well played.
He's gonna have 1 health next turn unless we draw something to do damage.
Well played.
Alright, so another pretty good match with our Mage deck here that we drafted, and now we've got a couple examples of how this deck works. We could go ahead and at least have something to put up there on our channel. As always, thanks for watching, and whenever I end up playing more matches with this drafted deck, I'll try to post those up as well. But I wanted, because it's been a few days, I wanted to at least go ahead and get something up there with some Hearthstone. So again, this is M-Dog, and I appreciate you watching. Alright. Here we go, continuing our Mage deck of madness here. Got the first 2 wins of the run done, and now we probably start running into a little more difficulties in matches. We'll see how it goes. Could break either way, I'd say. Here, I mean, I would expect this deck, if things go well, I'd expect this deck could get to 5 or so wins. We'll see though.
I must protect the one.
You asked for it.
Keep a couple cards here. Well, turn 1 mana worm. What do you know?
Put this apple on your head.
Of course, the other nice thing we have here is the coin counts as a spell. That would put it at 3 attack.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
So we'll go ahead and take that mana worm out of commission, it looks like. And we'll go ahead and play a turn 4 Yeti here.
Push forward.
We could have played a turn 4 Venture Co, but no real need to do that. And we have very much been the aggressor so far in this match. Let's see what the druid can do to turn that. And we'll just play a ghoul. I think that's the best move here, because we can favorably trade with both. Puts him in a bit of an awkward position.
Pay attention, class.
Let's see what he casts
We
here.
must cleanse the Sunwell.
So Blizzard here gets us down to 4. Then we can trade. Gets us down to 1, and then we can ping it. Do a nice cold 14 damage there. Next turn we can faceless manipulate something if we want. Probably faceless manipulate his taunt, to be honest. Actually, we don't need to do that. Well, that was an aggressive match. Goodness. I think that match demonstrates why, for a while now, the aggro Mage deck has been popular and constructed. You sort of get a glimpse of it there, just how a Mage can get rolling, and then when you start adding in the hero ability to help with some of those trades, it can be quite scary. In our last match, we had a mana worm for turn 1, and I'm sometimes skeptical of how effective that really is, but when you have some of those small spells that do a decent job of removal,
Asked for it.
it does really increase the value of that play. Keep the mana worm, see what else we can get here. So now we got a 1, 2, and 4. Doesn't set up quite as well. Now that helps. Arcane missiles. That's what did it last time. It's a very similar start as that we had last time.
Made to fit.
Let's see. think we still do the same thing here. He's going to take some armor. Fiery War Axe and this whole plan goes kind of up in flames real quick.
Back to work.
Now that's an aggressive play. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and coin out the Twilight Drake. Got a 4/5 on the board here on turn 3. Let's see how he deals with this. Again, a Fiery War Axe helps him. He can trade with a Fiery War Axe. Doesn't quite trade with that. He's going to save his weapon, I think. Alright, so if we made this a 5/6, it would still have 4 life and require both to attack next time. I think that's what we do here.
Cleanse the Sunwell.
If we attack here, it'd have 3 life, would still take both, and we have less damage on the board. I think that's the way to go. Pretty strong turn 5 play. Hard to deal with in one turn, especially when you've got nothing on the battlefield. That's one way to deal with it. We did 2 for 1 there, but it was a good play for him. Let's see what we draw.
I've got a huge gun. I'll put it on your tab.
A little unusual play here with the ghoul. If he has a weapon, he certainly can deal with it. Alright, so he'll trade here. Oh, there. That's smart. We'll just have to ping that, but that was smart. Of course, we could Blizzard, but be a little bit of a waste. See what he's got.
Mind if I roll knee?
I hear you got a problem.
It's actually somewhat tempting just to become a copy of that. And we'll just polymorph that, I believe. Let's see, 4, 6, 9.
Silvermoon shall not
It's gonna be tight here. He's got a lot more health and armor built up than you would like at this point in the match against a mage, but we do have some board control here. He's gonna have to take the taunt out. Oh, that's a strong play. Let's see what we draw here.
Someday I'll be just like you.
We don't have the strongest board anymore, but we're both top decking and we do have some board control here. Probably take out. Really interesting. Guess he's just trying to stay away from the damage. I would have been tempted to take out the alpha because it would have survived, although I suppose it would have been taken out by our hero ability, so maybe his play was the better play. Really, a weapon here just turns it around entirely for him.
Baby thirsty.
Me?
We need to draw one of our minions here. Ooh, Fiery War Axe, that's brutal. 7, and we have 10 cards. So we do have more cards left.
my seal for Argus.
I don't know what he's holding back, but it's time not to hold back anymore. Of course, he was just using that to draw a card. That's game over.
To Northrend! Victory!
Well played.
Alrighty. Good victory there with a golden arcane explosion. Alright, welcome back. We are continuing our arena run with the Mage deck. There may be some background noise as we are in the process of doing some laundry and other things going on, but thought I would get in a couple matches here while I've got a few moments.
Jade versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
You asked for it.
We'll keep Defender, but send everything back with a chance to get something lower. Alright, so we've got some pretty high costing mana minions. We'll see what we draw over the next turn or two. That helps. Certainly not going to use the coin now because it's looking like it might be a while before we get cards we can afford, so we might as well wait. So the choices that I'm considering here is we could go ahead and ping this, or we go ahead and play Novice Engineer. If we ping this, then we're basically waiting till turn 3 when we coin up to Twilight Drake. But I think we'll go ahead and do Novice Engineer here, because what we can do here is if he trades, we can always ping that to kill it. And we also have a Blood Cell Raider now to play. Okay, so we cannot ping that.
If you're sure.
Can't complain about that one, can we? We decided not to play Twilight Drake there, and just to do what we did to try to remove everything off the board for him, which it worked out. Now turn 4 we'll have a pretty strong Twilight Drake to play.
With me, friend. Reporting for duty.
.48 is not bad. That's certainly above average for what you see on a Twilight Drake's general stats here. So if he has something to change attack or whatever, he might use it here. So he's going to Hammer of Wrath it, which gets it down to 5. Wow. That is certainly a 2-for-1 in our advantage. Another Twilight Drake. And I think we coin up and ping his little dude. see what else he has in terms of removal. So on 6 mana, we could play a 4. Ooh, Avenging Wrath. Very strong play there. See what he plays, but a Defender of Argus on next turn, if our minions are alive, is a really solid, strong play. Yeah, we'll definitely Defender of Argus if he doesn't have removal. We'll just ping that with... Well, let's see. We know we want to do this. This next turn should be a pretty high damage turn for us. Consecrate kills the Leper Gnome, but that's it. Alright, so he's probably summoning a 2 attack minion with this secret, but let's test it to make sure. We'll test it with this. Okay, so that's not what the secret is.
You gotta be kidding me!
Oh, I forgot about Eye for an Eye. Talking about a misplay. Holy cow. I honestly forgot about Eye for an Eye. I was trying to think, what is this secret? So the problem there is I should have attacked with Leper Gnome first. You almost always with secrets attack with your lower minion first, but... Alright. Thankfully that little misplay did not come back to hurt us. So one of my commenters in the initial video I put out with this Mage deck where we played the first 2 matches, his thought was that to him this looked like a 5 to 7 win deck, and at 5 wins I think we can safely say he's right. I'm going to send both of them back. We're going first here, so it'd be nice to get... There we go. We'll play Mana Worm first round. You certainly could make the argument of holding on to Mana Worm till you have a spell to play, since it only costs 1 mana, but so far the strength of this deck we've got has been going ahead and playing pretty aggressively. Now what would be nice to do here on turn 3 is just ping something. He only has 1 mana, he could coin up. If we can just ping something on this turn, next turn we can play Twilight Drake. Oh, interesting. You know, putting the Direwolf Alpha that turn all it does is get hit with the axe. There's really no point to it. We're going to have a decent sized Drake here coming out probably for the next 2 turns. We'll see. And should be a 4/6 next turn as well. So it would, even the ooze and his axe together don't take this out, so he's going to have to use removal if he wants to actually take the Drake out this turn. That is a big old taunt. Now he can take this out with the ooze and the axe if he so chooses. If he doesn't take it out, very likely we would Defender of Argus next turn. That helps. Now I'm sure he's tempted to go to the face here, but I think the smart play is to just use his ooze to take out this Drake. And then he actually could take this Drake out with this and the axe if he wanted to, and then swing at this, but it wouldn't destroy this totally. So that's probably what he's thinking about here. See if he has any other kind of removal, or if he's just going to totem out. Unfortunately, if one of these Drakes don't survive, it may not make sense to Defender of Argus next turn, but we do have Argent Shield coming in. Argent Commander, I'm sorry. Yeah, you've got to do that. You can't attack to the face there, I don't think. So that Blizzard is pretty interesting here. See what he plays, but Blizzard could definitely come into play next turn. We'd be able to ping something and Blizzard, or Direwolf Alpha and Blizzard. So see if we see some removal here. Yeah. Pretty lucky. So I think we're just going to play Yeti and ping this. So we now have 2 Blizzards, so we really don't, you know, if it wipes the board, we don't have to save it for just waiting on the perfect amount of value. There hasn't been a turn yet that I don't think would have wanted to play Blizzard, but we need to find a place to play it here moving forward pretty soon. We don't want to get stuck with trading away too many minions and then just having spells in our hand. Of course, there's still a lot of cards left. We have 1 card advantage over him right now, and slight board control. Our life is equal. He's pretty much damaged himself by using his weapon. And what would be nice is if he doesn't have other weapons, because eventually that will catch up with us in terms of advantages with trading.
shall not fall.
Something with overload here. Oh, mercy.
Remember, kill to loss. My shield for Argus.
I love saving this when we have two people to play it on, but I don't think that's, I think the better play is to do this. If he wants to take this out, he's got to swing his Doomhammer twice. And take full 8 damage. Looks like he's doing it.
You gotta be kidding me!
To the breach.
And basically just didn't want to get slowed down by the warden. Maybe not the best use for polymorph, but we'll see how it plays out. We can faceless manipulator this if it's still pretty strong next turn. We'll go ahead and blizzard here. And go ahead and take this out. If he wants to take the damage, he can hit this with his Doomhammer. He's probably thinking about it. It's kind of a rough. Whew. Mercy.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
If he has Bloodlust, he could do 11 damage. He's in a really good position right now. We need our flame strike. What do you know? Yeah, that last one was really close. Could have gone either way. We got a little lucky with arcane missiles. He just did a lot of damage to himself with Doomhammer, but if he hadn't, we would have had board control pretty significantly there. So he kind of had to, but it led to him having so little life left.
You asked for it.
Oh, weird starting hand. So Duff, we've played Duff before. A warrior that's gotten to 6-0. We're going to see lots of weapons, and we have no oozes. So it's already pretty certain that it's going to be a tough match. Probably also has an Argent Commander or two. I think that's the name of the card, the one that gives warrior his other cards charge. Let's see if he coins out early. Alright. I have to play Shattered Sun here with nothing to boost up.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
There's the first one. We're gonna get run over here if we're not careful. I'll just trade with that. And I'll just hit that with the War Axe.
Shall not fall. shall not save you.
Whoa. Gotta polymorph that. 4, 8.
What to do? What to do?
If we hadn't had 9 mana, we would have just copied it and then polymorphed it, but you can trade now.
Someday I'll be just like you.
We're still in a lot of trouble here.
Try this.
Nothing we really want to faceless manipulate here.
My shield for Argus.
Only have 7 life left.
Let the pain speak to me. Into the breach. You gotta be kidding me.
5 life. Arcanite Reaper is game over. That's crazy.
How you doing?
Yeah, it might have been a misplay. We might should have copied that first. Even though it would have taken 2 damage, you still had 4 life left. And we're not going to get anything better than that.
X marks the spot.
He needs, except for the 2/2 weapons, any kind of weapon ends it. Looks like he top decked a Reaper. Alright, good game. See if, and that was a tough matchup against that warrior. But it will be interesting to see if we've kind of reached the point now where this deck starts to stall out, or if we can squeeze another win out of it. All the matches have been close for the last 3 or 4, I'd say. So it's been very tight. That warrior was in pretty good control most of the match.
You asked for it.
Yeah, that's interesting. That Mana Worm Frostbolt combo is just always interesting.
It's time for a little blood.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, he's just setting up for consecration. Giddy the Paladin. Of course, Hammer of Wrath kills it outright. True Silver does as well.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Follow the rules. Not on my watch.
My shield for Argus!
Push forward.
The thing we're missing from this match so far is just not getting any of our blizzards or other spells that would be really helpful right now. We kind of walked right into that consecrate, I guess.
Reporting for duty.
Shall not fall.
Someday I'll be just like you.
We could play either Ghoul or Alpha with our Venture Coat next turn.
Shall not see.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, we really need to start drawing some of our cards here. Hammer of Wrath here would be perfect. But we've been a little unfortunate this match in just the card order we've drawn things. So we've been really sort of just back and forth trading here.
Reporting for duty. Let the pain speak to me. Reporting for duty. The frost wolves stand ready.
How you doing? X marks the spot.
Let's hope he can't put a Divine Shield on it. It's gonna be hard to come back from that one.
Die, landlubber.
That's all we got, folks. He's in trouble now. Giddy. He's so giddy.
I've got a huge card.
Reporting for duty.
Blessing of Kings right here would be awesome if he has it.
Reporting for duty.
Let the pain speak to me.
You gotta be kidding!
Oh, wow. That's going to be game over.
I hope you like my invention.
My shield for Argus.
Reporting for duty.
Summoning portal open.
Are you ready for this?
Reporting for duty.
I am sorry.
To Northrend!
Thank you.
Reporting for duty. Justice. Reporting for duty.
You win.
Alrighty. We hung in there way longer than I thought we were. It was really just having... mostly it was awkward card draw, to be honest, but he did have a really good deck. And that's what you see when you get to this many wins, so... It'd be awesome if this deck could get to 7, though. I'd love to see it.
Jaina versus Garrosh.
Victory or death!
You asked for it.
Greetings.
Hello.
I feel icky.
Back to work!
For the crusade!
Back to work!
So rough start here, but that's what often happens against a warrior, especially at this point in the arena. They do whatever they can to get a fast start, and the only question becomes, can we stabilize? And it'll be tough, but you never know.
Silvermoon shall not fall.
Your magic shall not save you.
Remember, kills a loss.
You gotta be kidding me!
We do have card advantage, but he got a lot of damage in on us early.
Pay attention, class.
just me, or does that seem a little weird?
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
How you doing?
And I'm just hoping that by giving it one more health and life, it throws his math off a little bit. I don't know what he was planning on doing here. Oh, he can still take it out.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Oh, he might be going straight to our face. Nope. Okay. Four, 8, 10.
My shield for Argus.
Taunt really does slow warriors down though with their weapons. It was really important that we got this out on 2 people. How does he get so lucky? Good gravy. So the reason why I went ahead and froze him is just so he couldn't swing his weapon this turn. And then as long as he can't remove this, we'll keep freezing him every turn until we win. Just taking a chance here since we had such big card advantage. Okay, he's going to be able to draw.
You gotta be kidding me!
Alright.
Well played.
Alright. So we just withstood the early aggression. And then getting that card advantage really paid off. There's just nothing he could do. We were going to keep freezing him every turn. Beautiful. 7 wins. Feel very satisfied with this deck. Feel very satisfied with getting 7 wins with this deck. And I think anything else is gravy, as they say. But I think that's a pretty good arena run, considering the draft we had. It was a strong draft, and you know, mages just do really well in arena. If you can get good minions and get a little bit of removal, your hero ability allows you to have such an advantage trading. It puts people in awkward positions. It's really, really strong.
Jaina versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
You asked for it.
Okay. Rough start here. We're sending everything back. That's much better. That's much better. As long as we get a variety of minions sort of pop in as we play here, then this is a pretty good start. It's a little weird having 2 blizzards, but one of those is going to be dead for a while probably, but that's okay. We really need to draw a minion here next turn though. I don't think on turn 3 obviously we could have just pinged it, but we might as well let this mana worm grow a little bit, because I don't think on turn 3 he's going to be able to just remove this. Yeah, now we'll frostbolt. It's pretty likely on turn 4 we'll see a Hammer of Wrath or something to go ahead and deal with this. Oh, True Silver, that works. Don't really like any of our plays here. Of course, we could just put this out and let him take 5 damage from it. I mean, turn 5, not like we're going to have anything better. Let's just do it. Let's just let him take 5 damage. I think we had to draw him out a little bit. Alright. Ooh, we can't do that. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that.
Someday I'll be just like you.
We'll have to wait till this turn to... Totally was a finger off the left mouse trigger, just slipped. Was holding it down to think, and then boom, just slipped right off. We're in pretty rough spot here, not just because of our misplay. That actually ended up not having that big of impact, except taking 1 life off of us, but I just don't know exactly what we're gonna do here to get back into this. 3-3.
X marks the spot.
I'd be surprised if he came in too aggressive here in terms of playing a bunch of minions, because the way we played that, it's got to look like we're thinking about flame striking here. Yeah, he's pretty soft approach here. Of course, everything dies to Blizzard. Pretty even, but he's got play, so we'll see what he's got.
I have no time for games.
It's kind of weird. I'm not used to seeing Sylvanas get played when there's nothing on the board.
Reporting for duty.
And that totally changes the way I was going to play that. I was going to ping it and then run my Argent Commander into it. But to keep the value on the Twilight Drake, we went ahead and approached it the other way.
You call that a way?
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Reporting for duty.
To Northrend! Victory or death! My shield for Argus!
Job's done.
Not on my watch.
Shields up!
Reporting for duty.
My shield for Argus!
Behold the might of storm wind.
Goodness.
Reporting for duty.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
X marks the spot.
Reporting for duty.
For the Alliance!
I hope you like my invention.
Job's done.
I don't know. Gets interesting from here.
Reporting for duty.
If you're sure.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, mercy. Oh, that's awful.
If you're sure.
Wanna blow something up?
Oh, kidding me.
Reporting for duty.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
It's game over.
Reporting for duty.
Wow. He had lethal and he didn't do it. What if we'd have drawn something with taunt or something to heal us? That was a bad play, but he still is going to get the win.
Well played.
Alright. Well, that was a fun arena run. Haven't done one of those in a long time, so it was good to get some success. Get up to 7 wins with this deck. And let's see what our rewards are. That's 210 gold. That's like, I think you get that much on 9 wins sometimes. It's pretty solid.
There.
Second equality. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. That was a lot of fun. And I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.